Hello and welcome. It is time yet again for another episode of Dun 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 Bonnie Doom. And you can see today that some things are different and many things are never different. I dug up the anchors that were sticking in the ground, like these giant foot-long nails that who knows what they were for besides to trip over, because remember at the very beginning of the video there was this huge broken down external structure, like the kind of thing you put over your RV, but that's gone, and the anchor bolts weren't part of that, so I don't know what they were for. Maybe they were for raising the walls when it was first being framed. But here's one. Can you see it? It's like as long as my arm, and nearly the entire thing was buried underground, so it was a great tripping hazard. Here's another one. This one isn't quite so big. It's only like monstrously huge. And yes, and here is shit on a silver platter. It's one of my favorite jokes that I don't know what's up. I have been lighting fire the last couple days, so I burnt up some firewood and some lumber, and so that's vaguely slightly cleaner. My sage is doing really well. My potatoes are doing really well. My perennial sterile kale is doing pretty well. All the junk is not really doing all that well. It's kind of like far too the same. Antique Craftsman circular saw and jigsaw. Those are pretty neat. I wonder what I'll do with them. This is my compost pile. I can't put any of the most important things to compost in it because it's not a compost bin, it's just a pile. But that's what it is. Oh, and by the way, today's soundtrack that I can't play is Slint. Slint is from 1989. They're definitely like one of the alternative creators of, like post rock and math rock and all this stuff that became trendy like a decade later. So Slint is really rad. You should check out Spiderland, but I can't play it because YouTube will just mute me. So this is what's going on. It looks like this in here. I spent all day the other day vacuuming these studs and cross pieces in what I'm calling the kitchen / tent room. So I guess it's a bedroom and kitchen. And I didn't wash all my dishes, so that's what we got here. We've got the spice rack. Some of this stuff is all the same, but it's still like my favorite stuff. I still got my tent, my special places where I hang my stuff so that the rats that aren't here anymore, they may come back someday. So that's what there is. My bass guitar, my other bed, my power tools. I've almost read through the manuals for most of my power tools, so I may actually do some construction in the future. All these months of living here, and all I've been able to do mostly is clean and organize and get rid of, or at least throw outside a lot of the crap. So up here looks pretty much the same. There's the rat zapper that I love, and there's all the rat poop that I haven't vacuumed up because there's so many things to do that you decide to clean up the rat poop in the places where you hang out before you clean up the rat poop in places where you don't hang out. Yeah. And there's my bike. And I'm going to show off my collapsed but very functional once they come up trekking poles, which I call walking sticks. But if you're a hiking geek, you know exactly what these are. They came from REI. They're way too expensive. You can get better ones for cheaper than that, but they're carbon fiber, which I guess elitists are really stoked about. So whatever. We got elitist stuff. We got a fireplace that is ugly as heck, but it works. I don't know if I should be lighting a fire with that bare insulation, but the house hasn't burnt down yet, and I'm only going to light fires until I run out of firewood or I make windows. because once either of those happen, it won't be useful anymore. So there's my perennial kale. That's like one of my favorite plants. It's been perennial since, like 5 years old now. That little tiny thing lived in the garden, and it lived in that pot. It almost died when I moved over here because my landlord Namtas did not follow through in watering my plants, even though I offered to give them to him. So, yes, this is what there is. And thank you for watching.